Hard tire. Thunder Valley. Thunder Valley, Oklahoma. Y'all not trying to get waxed on a hard tire? On a what? On a hard tire, man. Old Big Mark's been talking his mouth a lot.
You'd like us to like a hard tire. That should work good.
It's like 3,000 horsepower, 300 tread. It works. Yeah. Just math. I'll just say here to harass you guys. Hey, take care, guys. Yeah, we're on trip. We're heading up to Foxtoberfest in North Carolina. So we're just kind of swinging through. Yeah, guys.
So I just threw it together real quick, and I have every intention of coming back and respraying the car. So possibly next year I'm going to paint it again, but I'm going to do a different take on the aqua, teal, whatever you want to call it, color combo. So it's going to be between blue and green again, but it's going to lean a little more blue. It's not going to be a forward color more than likely.
Yeah.
Or if I do, this is the thing I've been thinking of. I don't know what it would look like. To take teal metallic and calypso and literally mix it half and half. Just cinch it.
I mean, you could at least do it and spray something to the shop to see what it's like.
Just something kind of cool. You know, I don't know.
I'd really like to have another two-tone.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my second Mustang I had many years ago. It was a two-tone. I destroyed that car. I sanded the whole thing. I never got that.
Dude, that's actually my first car. Blue and silver, 93 GT. And I loved it, but at that time, people were smart to get away from the two-tone stuff. I was kind of the same way, you know, old school two-tone.
Yeah. So, now I remember that. They kind of went out of like, yeah, it's kind of like the cheese graters with GTA. Yeah, it's now.
Now, yeah. That was actually pretty good. Now,
so really it's kind of shown that there's a weird blend area right in here that might need some attention. I bet this is probably a lie too. Okay, and Learn shows he's getting up to about 180 kPa, not hitting those top rows, but I think we just left it that way in case he wants to turn the boost up a little bit more. He still has that, or if like the wastegate creeps or something like that. So I think that'll be okay. And let's see where we got this at right now. 14.6. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Anybody want a beer or anything? Got nice cold beer.
This man needs a beer.
I'm not gonna say no.
He does his best work that way.
Yeah.
Do my only work that way. I got yelled at this morning for having 2 margaritas for breakfast. And I'm like, I'm in Destin, Florida right now.
I'm like, you gotta have a margarita in Destin, though.
Pretty good.
Hold my beer.
You can have it in there if you want to.
All right, that's good. All right, let's see what happens here. Data log. Ooh, that's nice.
Is this in the way?
We're gonna have to have a conversation about that here in a minute.
Yeah, that thing is awesome.
Whew.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, here we go. It pulled really the issue. So that's at let's see here, 55 kPa, 1750 RPM. So
What's it doing?
oh, it's just the initial kind of flare up. And the way I start to do this now, I like to look at these side by side.
Love those things.
And let me get a couple of these things turned off real quick. Yeah, so check this out, man. So when I put this side by side, you could just walk the thing around. You ever tune like this, man, where you put these side by side with your data log over here, your tune right there, then you can start following the path on things. Because your initial flare up, here's what's happening, is obviously you start over here at 0 RPMs and, you know, ambient, so 100 kPa, and as soon as it starts to bump the RPMs up, you're going to start making vacuum, so it's going to start pulling down, and it's going to follow some curve as the RPMs climb, and that's where you reach max RPMs right there. And what's happening is this last little bit, you're getting so much timing in right there that it's causing it to go and pull the RPMs up. And if we can pull that timing down right in that region, or maybe pull it down more over here so it doesn't quite push that far, it might smooth that out. So I'm going to pull a little bit out of this, just right in this area. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to do too is I want to jump into that fuel real quick, the after start enrichment, because it obviously doesn't need that much fuel. So right in here, bump that down just a little bit. Save that. Okay, I'm gonna fire this thing up again. Let's see what it does. AFR is still reading really fat. CL comp kicked in. Yeah, it's still wanting to pull a bunch of fuel out. Okay, so after start enrichment's all the way down, and it was still fat, so it's actually in the coolant temp enrichment instead. So I need to get up into here and get into this part of the table, because it's just dumping extra right here. Okay.
So what'd you bump it to?
I just dropped it down like about 6%. It's that little drop right there.
Yeah.
The fuel's really showing rich right now, and it's pulling a whole bunch out. So I'm starting to kind of just generally bring things back down a little bit.
Remember when I first put the throttle body on, or the injectors? Remember we had a lean issue. And now it's like it's overcorrected. We went in the opposite direction. And it could have been a leak in the downpipe to start with, whenever I did all that.
Well, and I can tell you too, I mean, looking at your VE numbers right here, wherever you're idling, because you're idling about 50 kPa, so you're kind of right in here.
Yeah.
What's the compression on this engine?
About 9.5 to 1.
Yeah, these numbers are about 20% high, and it's pulling about 20% fuel right now.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just transfer the learn table over, do some smoothing, pull a little bit more out, and then let's go there. Before I get too crazy with all the temperature-based enrichment stuff, I think the base map's just off now.
Okay.
So, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're like, oh crap, I keep forgetting that's touchscreen. So like 9 or 10% at idle is what it's in the learn table right now. And then as we go up, it's actually adding a little bit of fuel and boost, which is fine. So, okay. Do that. No.
I don't know, something I'm sure. Or you did from riding in it.
Okay. first like 15-20 seconds, it's like thinking you're so rich. It pulls out 25% fuel, and then like instantly it went to 22 full lean, and then it started jumping around back and forth, and then it started acting normal. I'm almost wondering if we pull that sensor off, what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Let me fire this up one more time. Start and see if there's anything we can do there. Yeah, we're getting somewhere now.
Better now.
Now you got an idle that's like down at 800-ish.
Yeah.
And you can see, you know, coming off the throttle, it doesn't like dip way low and swing, and it's pretty drama free on that.
Nice. So
yeah.
You think that high idle was the TPS freaking out on us?
Well, I mean, the target idle was that high, but that was probably, like you said, you couldn't get it to idle, right? So, well, let's bump it up, and eventually it kind of gets happy, but probably masking other issues.
Yeah.
But that TPS, it had to have been giving you all kinds of just intermittent issues, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I think I solved it now.
Yeah.
A couple days later, oh, something's crazy again. And
yeah.
It's going back and forth, so, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
So we're going to do some hot starts now.
Yeah, I want to do a couple hot starts now that I think we're done messing with the screw. I've got the targets back to where they are, so now I just want to see what the hot starts are doing.
Okay.
And it may be grumpy, it may not be, but I like the return to idle right now.
Yeah, that's really good.
That ain't working.
Nope.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Like, does it settle down? Does it ever work? Man, it's good.
I mean, it will, but it's just stupid, you know?
It only did about 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, that's good. Just give it a minute.
It didn't cut off.
It's a Fox body, man. You gotta expect that.
It's got a few vacuum leaks.
The man, the myth, the legend. Hashtag Leech Tune.
Shit. See if we got lucky or if that's real. Yeah, we got kind of lucky, but it's better, a little bit better. Let's try this now.
I think that's timing.
Maybe. So park position's at 50.
Sounds good to me. Let's go right there.
It's better than what we've been doing, right?
Yeah. Hey, my motor, let's just go. Turn it all up. I want all the power.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so that extra hold time. Yeah. We gotta play that game that we gotta find the right at the peak and kill it before it has a chance to be stupid. So let's go down to 0.75 seconds for the hold time.
That sounded good.
That was pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, so it's still a little slow on the initial crank though. I'm gonna change your cranking fuel a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I lowered the idle air down. So let's see. Cranking.
This thing's always been slow to start.
Okay, so cranking fuel's pretty high right here. At these hotter temps, this may be okay, but that seems definitely high.
I think it's too much fuel. And
I think it's over fueling during the actual crank, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull this down quite a bit and see if it'll light off a little faster. Not bad. I'm gonna turn cranking fuel down some more.
Better.
Yeah, I'm gonna go less. So I'm just gonna keep turning the cranking fuel down until it has an issue.
Yeah.
You know, until it doesn't want to start at all, and then okay, you know, go back up on it. Light off way faster now. Okay, I'm gonna turn the cranking fuel down some more.
This car's always been slow to start. From day one. This car never starts good. My dad's car, you can just look at the key and it starts running.
I hate that. I go click,
Yeah.
like. Okay, try sound. See, now it's too much. Needs more again. A little bit back in it. And I'm also going to take down the park position again. Now that we're pulling some fuel out, let's pull a little more air out too. Now do a hot start. Because I was doing so many back-to-back that there's probably some extra fuel kind of floating around in there. So. Yeah, it is still wanting more park position. not want to try this real quick. So it just doesn't quite.
It did seem like slightly clutch, like you
that
got like
real fast. Nope.
Hey pups.
Nope. No. 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 Well, dude, I gotta drive the car. Here we go. And we're off to the races. Now Fox wins. Sorry. I hate Hollies, and I'll keep saying it. It definitely was really wanting to stall, or not stall, but just surge and swing and all that. It's better now. I'm really still not happy with it. Yeah. And I know we got to get better.
Yeah, that's fine.
But basically what it's doing right now, this is what it does. Drive, whatever, clutch neutral. RPMs come nice, steady rate, come down, and it sits into like a perfect idle. And it goes up 300 RPMs, it comes down 100, and then it goes.
Yeah. I could hear something as you were kind of creeping around the neighborhood. It sounded like it might have tried to go.
Oh, it was swinging a bunch. I was doing a bunch of things. Yeah, and it was swinging around like crazy, and then changed around the spark map some more and did a few other things and got it where it's behaving better. But it definitely needs some time where I'll have to sit down and look at some D-cell data logs and like really look at that. I was just doing it by feel, not going back and looking at logs or anything. But definitely improved. Almost killed 2 dogs. That was cool. I locked up the brakes. They do work real well. I wasn't going real fast, but yeah, I was like, oh crap, there's dogs like slow, and they're like, and they're sitting there and they're like on the side of the road. Like, are we gonna do it? Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yep. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Wow.
Got about a 2-foot screech there right at the end. Like, that transmission's killer. Yeah, it is killer.
I think I want to lift that shifter up a little bit.
The Capri TKX.
Yeah, that thing's good. You know, Neo's. I think Neo's been 9s on his, beat the shit out of it, no issues.
I just like the way it feels. It is super stiff. The 2 to 3 gate is just really strong.
Yeah, you push out a second and it goes.
And the throw is real short on everything too. Idle's real close. It's adding a little bit of fuel here, nothing too crazy. And there's this one little transition area that I think this might be part of your D-cell issue when we're coming back down.
Okay.
But big thing, man, that I was messing with is, you know, coming to a stop is basically this IAC ramp down window. I mean, that's that, and being real strategic with that part of your timing map, that D-cell, you know, swing back up towards idle coming off 2000 or whatever you are. If you have anything too abrupt going on here, that really unsettles things, and it can cause some issues. But I kind of made some changes to that seemed to help actually quite a bit.
And that's more your cruising or coming down.
Yeah, because like you'll be up in here in this pink when you're cruising. You're actually still in the throttle, steady state. You'll be chilling. If you're in gear and you let off and just coast in gear, you'll drop all the way to the very bottom down here. And then as your RPMs drop, you know, it'll go left, but it'll slowly go back up as it's working its way up to idle. And if you at any point you go and clutch it and pop it neutral, you'll see the RPMs fall really fast, and it'll just kind of complete that transition faster. But yeah, so really it's just so you're idling here. So when you decel, you're probably going to swing right through that region.
Gotcha.
So, and when you look at that in 3D, you can really see it because, you know, I'm going to smooth this out.